Hi and welcome to today's review. Gareth Shaw here, to PGA Professional, and I'm very excited to bring you a second generation of probably the best wedge I've ever reviewed. The wedge market out there is very saturated and it's very competitive, but what we get a lot of golfers doing is buying a forgiving set of golf clubs that's going to help them gain more distance, gain more forgiveness on the golf course, but then they go and buy a wedge that's a wedge that Rory McIlroy, that Jon Rahm uses, which has got no forgiveness in it at all. You've got to think we use our wedges, full shots, medium shots, close around the green, a lot in a round of golf. So why don't you get a wedge that's going to help you perform better and ultimately give you that forgiveness on mishits as well. So today I'm bringing you a golf club from a company called Edison Golf. The founder, creator, Terry Kohler, is an absolute genius. He's been in the wedge market for over 30 years. He's worked for and with companies like Ben Hogan, Score Wedges, and now Edison. These wedges are very different from what else is out there on the market. The first of all, these wedges, as you'll see on the screen now, are just got so many little unique selling points. Not only the forgiveness side, but also a wedge to suit your game. These wedges go up from 45 degrees all the way up to 60 degrees, but in 1 degree increments. So ultimately, the company will say to you, guys, how far do you want to hit your full 45 degrees? Okay, that's how far you go. Okay, you might want to rein it back and think about a 46 degree. Or how far do you want to hit your pitch shots? What's going to suit you? What do you like to hit? A 50, a 60 yard pitch shot? Okay, we'll find a degree to suit you, which is awesome, which I love. The guys have also done lots of research on where amateur golfers strike their wedge shots from, and what they found is that majority of the wedge shots from amateur golfers are at the top of the golf club. Pros are down here, kind of bottom 3 grooves, get that spin, lots of generation of spin, lots of control. But us amateurs out there watching this video, we tend to go up here. So what Edison have done, you'll see just a little bit in the back of the wedge there, is they've put more weight at the top of the golf club, so ultimately going to bring the strike down and help you strike it better. And ultimately, if you do strike it at the top of the club, it's going to still give that forgiveness. What a lot of golf clubs do at that kind of tall level profile, very thin at the top line, they will lose forgiveness. So you're gonna find shots coming off dead off the face, they don't go the full distance. But these, I've tested these this week, played on a golf course, played a competitive round of golf with them, don't do that, and especially out of the rough. Really impressive. Also, you think about where the kind of soul is and how we've got so many grinds out there, and it gets a little bit confusing for amateur golfers out there what to hit and how to choose a wedge. But the Kohler design, Terry's designed a sole plate here, you can just see it, and I'll show you on other images there. It's almost got like a ridge going through the middle of the wedge, so then the kind of dispersion of that wedge kind of drops off at the end. So that's going to help you in all conditions, from tight fairways to what we're getting now into in the UK autumn kind of fairways and rough conditions where it's a little bit soggier. These wedges also, because of the graduated groove design, you'll see the grooves there really tight on the camera hopefully, are graduated, and also they've got this kind of X kind of cake design on the face, so generating more spin, which I love, which is absolutely brilliant. You need so much control around the greens. Let's hit a few shots and I'll flash some traces up as well so you can see these in action. I've got my 57 degree. Seems weird not just to say 60 degrees, isn't it? But I want the yardage. I've got a waist height shot here, and I want that yardage, that club, to go the same distance each and every time, or there or thereabouts. Okay, so waist height shot, just flicking it out in front of me. Just a really nice strike, really nice feeling off the club face. Love it. And what I find and what I'm feeling on this golf club, more importantly, is that I'm getting a consistent flight. It's going through the window that I want it to go through. It's not popping up, it's not going low, and it's going more penetrating flight, which I love off a wedge. Hopefully you'll see on the traces as well. That's lovely. Just hopefully you can hear the sound on the camera of these wedges, how they're coming off the face. Is it more of a full one for you? Lovely height, and you know that's going to drop and stop. You know you're going to get that control on the club face. I'm just really impressed with these. The second version I think is better than the first version, and that's because of again that forgiveness at the top line. I've got 4 wedges in the lineup here. I can rotate, change ones out if I like, but for me they are fitted to the yardages I want to hit my wedges. Full shots, waist height. That suits me, suits my game, and that's the key with a wedge. Don't buy something just off the shelf. Even if you don't, look at the Edison wedges. Think about that, how far you want your golf ball to go with your wedges, and maybe go to your local PGA professional and get them to move the degrees on your club face to suit your game, rather than you buying a wedge that you've got to adapt to and you've got to play with. Because again, the wedge market, people are so fearful at times of those little shots, the 3/4 shots, the full shots with a wedge. Go and get something that's going to help your game and give you more forgiveness. These wedges come in at $199 in terms of dollars. Yes, you're probably thinking, wow, it's a lot for a wedge, Gareth, that is. But also you'll see on the screen now, they do variable pricing. So buy multiple wedges. All I did here was got the heads. And what I've done is I liked my shafts that I had in my wedges previous. So I've taken my old heads off, put the Edison wedge heads onto my old shafts, and they work perfectly for me. Really impressed, really good. Also, they've got a comprehensive fitting experience on the website, so you'll be able to look at your yardage. So detailed, and the kind of customer service and the feedback is great. This is not a paid advert. I just love innovation, and I love golf clubs that are going to give me more forgiveness and help me in my golf game. So it's a couple more shots and then we'll wrap up the video. So I'm going to go in a little bit more of a rough lie here and see how it comes out. Kind of a 3/4 golf swing and see what it does. Okay. Just got a gent out on the range, I don't want to get him, so I'll just flick one out there. Lovely. Really nice window. Really nice window that comes out of. So nice. And I can feel the forgiveness, I can feel the meatiness off the club face, which I really like. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't feel weak, and because that weight's at the top of the golf club, it feels like a solid strike, even though I might not be striking it out the middle every time, but the forgiveness is there. The profile, as you'll see on these wedges, is still very slim. You stand over that golf ball and it is very similar to shape to other well-known wedges out there on the market. So you're not going to put it down and see a massive chunk at the back of your golf club. Like I remember there's a golf club out there called the Alien Wedge. If I can find a picture, I'll fly it up for you. But that had a real big chunkiness on the back of that golf club. Whereas these sit just like a normal wedge, traditional players, tall players wedge would. Just brilliant. Blown away by them. They're really good. I had ping wedges before, so they were a little bit heavier for me, and I could tell when I took them off my existing shafts that they were a little bit heavier. But I don't mind the lightness in these Edison wedges, because that's going to help me create more club head speed through the golf ball and hopefully generate some more spin and control, because that's something that's weak in my golf game. I don't create enough spin. Ultimately, just blown away. If you don't go and purchase Edison wedges, I'm not going to take offence. I don't think the company will as well. Hopefully we just brought some exposure to the brand tonight when we've looked at this review. But ultimately, go out there and have a look at your wedge lineup, have a look at what clubs you've got in your bag, and go and find a wedge that suits your game and ultimately can give you some forgiveness on those missed strikes, those miss hits as well. Go and check the guys out on the information below, because I'm blown away. Thank you, Terry and the team at Edison, for sending these wedges through. They're going to stay in my bag for the rest of the season and into next season, because I'm just really impressed with them. The feel, the forgiveness, and ultimately the control I'm getting on full shots and around the greens. Thanks for watching everybody, and we'll see you again soon.